Welcome to the Matt Cottrell Report. These are the extraordinary stories of extraordinary individuals. Today's guest is a really fascinating guy. He went from teacher and coach to public speaker in only 3 months. He's got a fascinating story, and he's doing some great things with using his faith as his foundation. Ladies and gentlemen, my friend. And we've got another fantastic guest, guys. So this is my new friend. This is Clayton Garmon. Clayton, thank you so much for coming on, man.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Yes,
really
sir.
do.
Absolutely. So I'm going to let you guys find out a little bit about Clayton before we jump into his story. So we'll do what we always do. Give the audience your elevator pitch. Look into that camera. Tell them who you are and what you do.
My name's Clayton Garmon. I was a former Texas high school football coach and a history teacher. Also was a pastor for a little while. But now transitioning into a speaking business / a men's ministry called Clayton Garmon Speaks, where kind of take my story to help impact others, learn what I've done good, and try to share and learn my heartaches, try to share those as well, and man, just do good in the world.
Absolutely, yeah. What's up, guys? So we got a couple of new sponsors. I want to thank Maximus Nutrition and Chris Nava for sponsoring the Matt Cottrell Report. It's pretty cool to have these guys. Man, I've known these guys a long time, and it's cool to be partnered up with them. I've been a long-term customer of theirs, and I can attest that these guys offer some of the best supplementation and nutrition in the Concho Valley. So tell them you saw it on the Matt Cottrell Report, and you'll get 10% off. Also, my buddy, Rusty Bartolomeo. So he's a realtor here in San Angelo. He also owns Angelo Ale House and Pizzeria. So we want to give a shout out to him for sponsoring the Matt Cottrell Report. Also, if you're looking to buy or sell a home, reach out to Rusty. He'll help you out. Thank you. I want to thank Angelo MMA and Fitness for sponsoring the Matt Cottrell Report. Also, the Re-Up. So, guys, if you are looking to lose some weight, to gain some muscle, or you're looking to take MMA fighting seriously and learn that stuff and perhaps even become a pro, Angelo MMA and Fitness is the place to be. I'm telling you guys, I've seen it firsthand. They've got qualified coaches. It's a supportive environment. They took a 10-year-old novice fighter from knowing nothing to a professionally signed fighter who just signed the other day. So, guys, if you're serious about your fighting or want to get serious, Angelo MMA and Fitness is the place to be. Also, the Re-Up, which goes kind of hand in hand with Angelo MMA, is right beside it. They do custom meal prep, so they make nutritional meals that have the macros listed on it. So whatever your goals are, you're trying to lose weight, gain some muscle, you're fighting, you just need some more convenience with your meal prep, they've got you covered. They also sell all kinds of different drinks there that are absolutely delicious. So go check them out, guys. 1602 North Chadburn Street. Thanks a lot for sponsoring the show. We'll see you later. I love that. So what's cool is we're catching you just on at the beginning of your transition as you're transitioning into a new career as a speaker.
Right.
So I want to get into your early days, childhood and stuff like that. But before we do, tell us a little bit about that transition and why you decided to go from coaching to public speaking or motivational speaking.
Really, I think it was more of a process. I wouldn't say sudden I'm going to quit that and do something different. It was more as I look back now, and this is just an extension of my teaching.
Nice.
Just extension of my coaching. Part of some of it is I'm getting older in age. I'm 42 years old. Yeah, I'm 42.
Yeah.
And so the older I got is I realized, man, I've had a lot of life experiences, and I've learned a lot of lessons, but still at the same time, like, use that as just like a history lesson, but man, I could teach other lessons, and maybe somebody will be like, hey man, I never thought of it that way.
Yeah.
Or may have thought, hey man, that's how I was feeling. I didn't even know I was feeling that way.
Yeah.
And a lot of I really find hope is other people are like, man, I'm not the only one struggling with that.
That's right.
Or how'd you deal with it?
Yeah.
Like, just here's how I did. Will it work for you? I don't know.
Yeah. But
man, there's always somebody, and the more I've had is it's been just a transition really just as teaching how I taught in the classroom. Man, I realized I gave a speech on George Washington almost every day, or the Alamo, or something. And so a lot of my style of how I taught, it transitions to this.
Okay.
And I was given some opportunities to do that, to really, like, people, and this is part of my story I'll share later, but people really poured into me, man, hey, you've got a gift.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, thank you. But also it's just like, man, it's almost like my whole past story has prepared me for this.
Yeah.
And this is just what's next.
Yeah. Well, something you said in your bio about how you were going to be transitioning into doing this, you said you worked with kids a lot, but you feel more called to work with adults.
Right.
So what was it about that made you realize, okay, maybe it's time now for me to work with and help adults? What was it?
Two things. One, I switched jobs, and so I was in education for 14 when I was a coach. And I worked at San Angelo Lone Star. And it was an amazing opportunity, totally different than anything I've ever done before.
Wow.
But then there was this group that the teachers that are with, they were the way our schedule worked. We all taught history. We all had the same break. Mm-hmm. We spent a lot of time together.
Okay.
And they made fun of me because I was 42 and they're in their 20s. They called me Grandpa Garmon.
Dang.
But I loved them. And I'm so thankful for them. And through that situation, it was really, there was that age gap. I was like, man, they made me feel young. Mm-hmm. But then there was like, hey, they would ask me stuff that I'd be like, it was a big deal to them, and it wasn't a big deal to me. And I was always like, why is it not a big deal?
Interesting.
Well, it was a big deal to me 10 years ago.
Whoa, okay.
You see what I mean? So it's like, like, okay, hey, here's how you handle this.
Yeah.
And like, this is because I've been through the ringer, and I could give advice by saying, you know what, probably should do that.
Yeah.
That matters. No, that doesn't.
Exactly.
And so it was like, man, I was really, in a way, teaching them. But then another thing that really kind of had the realization of as I transitioned to this is I could do everything I could to impact as many kids as I could. Mm-hmm. But I was very limited, to 150 kids, 160 kids.
Yeah.
But then I realized it's like, man, if I could impact 10 adults.
Yeah.
And hopefully like pour into their lives,
right?
Just a little bit, and if each one of those 10 adults had 150 students,
dude, right?
That's a lot.
Exponentially. That's right.
And so that's I realized is where a lot of people have poured into my life, and I realize how people have poured into my life.
Yeah.
That I poured a little back of that into other people.
Right.
And so that's my goal, is if I could help adults that work with kids. I guess it's more of a transition.
Okay.
I've worked so much with kids. Now I want to work with adults, and how many more can we impact?
Yeah.
Or how many more could we help?
I see where you're going with that. Okay.
So,
dude, that's really cool. So, where did you grow up?
I grew up right here. I grew up in Wall,
Texas. Right?
Wall, America. Dude. I was born in Uvalde, but moved here when I was 5.
Okay.
I lived in Wall pretty much from kindergarten through my senior year in high school.
Nice.
Went to Angelo State.
Nice.
Squeezed 4 years of college into 6.
Me too.
And then eventually went over different places, different parts of the state to coach.
Okay.
Then came back to this area in 2016.
Were you a football coach?
I coached it pretty much all,
okay.
but everything. But I was everything from a junior high coach all the way to the head football coach.
Nice.
I was a head football coach for 2 years at Eden.
Wow.
So
how was that experience?
First, it was like almost a tale of two years. First year, I did everything wrong.
Yeah.
That you could possibly do.
Yeah.
But then the second year was absolutely amazing, and it really changed not only. Like, I changed a lot of stuff, how I did it. Everything was wrong, taught me what to do right.
Yeah.
And was I perfect? No.
Yeah.
But then through just some growth and through different opportunities, had the opportunity to coach some great kids. Ended up winning the first district championship in 24 years.
Oh, that's awesome.
And, I mean, and even that's a God story. But just going through that, and so I've been through it all. I spent most of my career at smaller schools, 6-man, small 11-mans.
Yeah.
And so going from that and then jumping to a 6A feeder school.
Yeah.
It was culture shock, but it was a great experience all the way around. I'm thankful for everything I've gotten to do.
That's cool. Yeah. So when you were growing up, what was your childhood like? I mean, tell me about your upbringing and how your parents were with you, sort of, and siblings, that kind of deal.
Man, I look back, and I can look back now. I mean, I had a blessed childhood. Both my parents are now gone.
Okay.
And so I look back, and I look back with gratitude.
Yeah.
My dad was a water well driller.
Okay.
And my dad was a big man. But I realize now how big of a heart he had.
Yeah.
And my dad was 6'6", 380.
Dude.
They called him Big Jim.
Okay. Yeah.
And then my mom, I think she really impacted me, and I knew she had a little bit, but I didn't really recognize how much she impacted me until she passed away back in April.
Wow.
And so my mom was a teacher's aide.
Okay.
Which a lot of if you look at you look at the education, the teacher's aide is kind of the low person on the totem pole.
Yeah. When
it comes to teachers and principals and administrators.
That makes sense.
But I realized after her death what a great impact she had. And a lot of the things that made her special, like I realized what made her that she brought value. Yeah. Man, it's still living on and still impacted. And after her funeral, man, I had so many, when she passed, man, I had people I hadn't talked to in 20 years call me.
Wow, that's incredible.
And man, they're off successful. You never thought they'd had a struggle in their lives, and they're like, man, I was having a really blue day, and your mom talked to me. Yeah. And I don't forget that.
That's right.
And so I realize how my parents taught me that. A lot of the stuff they taught me, I didn't understand. I even maybe bucked the system a little bit. Yeah. But then I realized, man, they were right. Yeah. They were right.
That's right. That's how it is.
And then I have a brother. He's actually the only family I really have. I mean, we've got some cousins in the area, but right now, my brother and I, it's us.
Are y'all pretty close?
We are.
That's cool.
So we have an interesting setup. Part of when my dad passed away on our farm, 20 acres was given to me, 20 acres was given to my brother. Or we're right next to each other. Oh, that's cool. So my brother's my next door neighbor.
Shut up. Yeah. That's awesome.
I mean, we live about 500 yards away.
That's perfect, dude. Yeah.
But I love it.
That's cool.
He's an accountant here in town. He's a CPA here in town. Yeah. And man, very successful, very proud of him. Yeah. But it's really neat. We were always close, but after my mom passing, like, we're really close. And it's kind of, even that's has helped transition our relationship even to a better place.
Oh, I love that, man. You are lucky to have that.
We are.
That's cool.
We really, really are.
So as far as your faith is concerned, because I know that drives everything you do. It's a lot like I like to say that drives everything I do as well. Right. When were you saved, and how did you really come to know Jesus and really start strengthening that relationship?
So my parents was really strong in their faith.
Nice, yeah.
And for a long time, like, I kind of piggybacked on their faith. And they taught me right and wrong. They taught me to trust the Lord. But, I mean, as a kid, I mean, I did great things, went to church, did all that.
You did, yeah.
But, like, it was really, that was what I was supposed to do. Yeah. Not really a relationship. Yeah. And so it was really made some dumb teenage choices. Yeah. Luckily, I never really got caught, I guess. Right. Or, I mean, I don't have what people say, the testimony that others may had. Okay, yeah. But that just means I got lucky to get caught.
Exactly.
And then just through some really poor decisions, man, there was just some stuff in my heart. I was like, I knew this ain't right. Yeah. And I was dishonoring my parents, but really, and just through some events, man, like I had a night, came home, middle of the night after some wild stuff, and man, just broken. Wow. Just broken. Yeah. And so that next Sunday, I was like, I gotta talk to somebody. I can't talk to my parents. I wasn't ready to tell them everything that I've been doing. Mm-hmm. And crazy thing is I struggled with my parents were out of town, so I was sitting in the house just struggling all day. Decided to drive to Angelo because there was one guy on my heart that was like, man, I could talk to him. Mm-hmm. And crazy story about this, man. Like, he literally, like, I went to his apartment and nobody was there. And I was walking out the door, and he walked in.
Wow.
And he was like, Clay, what are you doing here? I was like, man, I need to talk to somebody. He goes, okay, let me make a phone call. He goes, I was hanging out with another buddy's house, but I forgot keys or something at his house.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, hey, man, I know you need it. So he's like, let me call my buddy, say I'm not coming back.
Yeah.
And literally, if I would have been a minute earlier or a minute later,
appointment.
Totally would have missed it.
Yeah.
And man, I was like, man, this is what it is. This is what I've done. Man, I know I need the Lord, but I'd already been baptized.
How old were you at this time?
I was 19 years old.
Okay. Yeah.
And so it was after my first year of college, and so like he really, like he presented the gospel to me again, and it was like I'd already known it,
mm-hmm.
but then it was like, man, but my need for it, was when I recognized.
Okay. Yeah.
And man, sitting in this apartment, College Hills apartment, crazy things that happened in the apartment. Man, I gave my life to the Lord that night.
That's cool.
And then invited me to church. He invited me to church the next Sunday, which is another crazy story. Go to a church first Sunday, first time I ever been in a bigger church.
Mm-hmm.
Man, I was like, the pastor was like, man, this is awesome. And the pastor resigns at the end of the service.
Are you serious?
I was like, what?
That didn't happen too often.
And
Why?
my buddy, he just moved on.
Okay.
I don't know the whole story.
Yeah.
And my buddy's like, he looked at me, I'll never forget, he looked at me, he goes, that doesn't happen.
Yeah.
I was like, okay. He goes, well, come back one more week.
Right.
And through that, man, I gave my life to the Lord, but I was still convicted about it, still wanted to be baptized. And that at that same time, that church had promoted their youth pastor on a 6-month interim basis, and he's now been pastor of the church since 2002.
Cool. Wow.
He's still my pastor to
That's
to
amazing.
this day.
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
I walked up, I was like, man, I think the Lord's working in my life, and I really feel like I need to be baptized. I really feel like
Yeah.
I gave my life to the Lord, and I was baptized and told my parents, and that was hard, but they were so supportive. And
Why was it hard?
it was hard because I think for 2 reasons. I think first of all, working with my mom. My mom worked at the school that I grew up in,
Mm-hmm.
and so she was always there. And so I almost had an image I had to live with her. I had to show at the school.
Yeah.
And my friends would encourage me to do opposite, which they were. And so to there is kind of admit, it's like, hey, I know I've been telling you this, but really this is what's been happening.
Yeah.
And so that was very hard. And man, my mom, when she broke down, and it was tears of joy.
Wow.
She's like, Clay,
yeah.
I knew. Mama know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Mama knows.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so
Yeah.
she was like, hey, I knew, but I've been praying for this.
Yeah.
And I had to trust God, and He answered.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. She knew. Yeah.
She knew.
Yeah. And then so what happened at that point? What was your trajectory like from your life at that point? Once you gave your life to the Lord, you started kind of turning it around, and then what happened?
Yeah, turning around. I mean, it was turning around, but turning around in mud. And what I mean by
that's how it is.
What I mean by it's not a smooth road.
That's
I
right.
mean, it's like there's a
People
lot of
don't understand that sometimes.
They don't, and
Exactly.
that's
Yeah.
okay. And so I personally believe, God washed my sins away. Totally believe that.
Yeah.
But then there's some mud that I gotta wash off myself, and then it's
Ooh,
like
that's good. Yeah.
not only like I am saved, but God, I need cleansing. I need to get what what I'm trying to say is like take a little bit off, take a little bit off, take a little bit off.
Yeah.
And a lot of it is the hardest thing to do was to make choices that not against what I wanted to do, but I knew was to the choice of doing what's right.
That's right. That's the struggle.
And one of
there.
the biggest, and the Lord, in a lot of ways, He worked a lot of ways. Like, it was crazy. It was like the friends I wanted to impress, man, through certain situations, man, they left.
Yeah.
And
That's
some
great.
of them are still some valuable friends I have today that still get together, still talk, and man, the Lord's worked in their lives and in my lives, but sometimes like for the Lord to work both our lives, we gotta go our separate ways.
That's true.
And then when He's ready, we'll come back.
Yes. Yeah.
And so through all that, kind of got really involved with BSM, Baptist Student Ministries. Hung out there a lot, and another thing really blessing is I got a job at the Janelle Center, the basketball arena.
Cool. Yeah.
Worked there 5 years.
Doing what?
Man, I did everything from like clean toilets to to public announce to
Wow.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
I worked like so at the. It was cool about the arena is like you may have a basketball game at 8:00 at night. Well, Willie Nelson's coming the next day, and you got to make it a concert hall.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Or I mean, we worked everything from security to graduation to cameras.
Wow.
So I mean,
Yeah.
it was a neat. But I think what was really most impactful about that was the first time I'd worked for a Christian boss.
Oh.
And I worked for a very godly man.
Yeah.
And I still,
Wow.
I believe he's still around. His niece I actually worked with for 5 years in Miles, but he had an impact on my life that I'm so thankful for. And he taught me a lot of lessons, but he would always also tell me I would think something. He goes, "Nah, you're not right. You're wrong," in a loving way.
Yeah.
20 years later, man, you were right. He was
Dang,
right,
dude. Yeah.
And then also another guy, supervisor, was my age, became one of my best friends.
Yeah.
He's now a pastor here at the church, and he, man, we still get together. And man, those two came in my life at the right time.
Yeah.
Discipled me, and so like that, I was very thankful for. Also went on a mission trip with the BSM. They did. I don't know if they still do it. It's called Beach Reach.
Yeah. Where'd you go?
So you go to South Padre Island during spring break.
Oh,
so that's wild.
Yeah.
That is wild.
I got a story about that.
So, but what it is they do these free van rides, and so they do these free van rides, and so you evangelize, but you have conversations with them, and you go through this like 6-week training, and then you go down to Padre.
Are you literally evangelizing to the kids are partying?
Yeah, and so I mean, it's not like I walk to the beach and like, man, you need Jesus, but
Right. Yeah. Okay.
it's more like how like it's you build a relationship with you ride in vans, like you get in vans and they strategically put you in there, and these you pass the first week you pass out these. This is 2003, so this is technology different. I know that now, but we used to pass out these cards and like, hey man, if you're drunk, don't want a DWI, don't want an MIP. Man, call this number. No questions asked. We'll give you a ride.
I could have used that back
now,
then.
the taxis hated us because they wanted to charge money.
Yeah, exactly.
But we would strategically go in there. We dressed just like them. I mean, maybe not in our swimsuits, but like we were college kids.
Yeah.
And so a lot of people would get on. They would see teenagers. We just have conversations with them.
Yeah.
Some wanted nothing to do it, and that was fine.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, but then there was other situations where like. I remember this guy like jumped in the back of the van with me because I was the only seat available. We talked and we ended up. Our shift was supposed to end at 3:00 in the morning. 4:00 in the morning, him and I are still in the van because he wants to talk.
Yeah.
And it was really crazy. We had this driver. I'll never forget, man. Godly bad. I can't remember his name. But he would intentionally get lost on South Padre Island.
Yeah.
Intentionally get lost.
Yeah.
So he gave you more time.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
And so, like, I mean, I won't say, like, I mean, we just talked about the Lord. We talked about all that. And he was just different things. The man struggling.
Yeah.
And a lot of his, I mean, it's another divine appointment. His struggles, my struggles.
Right.
I can't tell you where he is now.
I was going to ask. Yeah.
I mean, I lost him on Facebook. I had him on Facebook. Probably, I mean, I lost him. Still think about him.
Yeah.
But still know he's a soccer player from Anderson, Indiana.
Okay. Yeah.
I think his name was Matt.
Indiana.
Like, yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
And so
that's crazy, dude. Yeah.
So it was that. So that mission trip was cool. But the best part that I loved about it was we got put in these teams, and like our group was like 20 kids, so they put us in 3 teams of 6 or 7. Well, just happened to be that the girl who sat at the training table that got assigned to my seat right directly.
Yeah.
Is now, this year will be 20 years we've been married. Yes.
That's how y'all met.
That's how I met my wife.
Yeah.
Now that's how she officially says it. I say I met her at a get together a month earlier, but
okay.
But our official story is like,
that when y'all started dating?
So we didn't date. We hung out, pretty much hung out for those from spring break through to the end of the summer. And so I had already committed. I wouldn't work. We were friends. We hung out with the same group, but we didn't date. and I'd already committed. I worked a summer at a T-Bar Christian sports camp.
Okay.
And then she had committed to a summer. She went to India and worked with Larry Burkett, I think, a financial advisor in India. So we were both gone all summer.
Yeah.
And I worked at that Christian sports camp. Man, that was one of the coolest experiences. It was a kids camp.
Yeah.
I mean, they would come. They did sports for like 2 hours.
Yeah.
But then you did games and stuff like that.
Okay.
Kind of the coolest thing about that, and this is not name dropping, it's just like, that's cool.
Yeah.
I had a kid. I can't remember. I mean, this is 2003. Had a little kid, and he brought his own golf clubs, and one of my roommates, co-counselors, was like, hey, this kid can kind of play golf a little bit. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
He's like, no, Clay, he can really, really play.
Oh, dude.
Name was Jordan Spieth.
No.
Yes.
Are you serious?
That little kid grew up to be a Masters champion. I'm like, that is sick.
You
and
got
so,
to
like,
hang
my
out
claim,
with him?
he was like 10. But
That's
I got to hang out with Jordan
awesome,
Spieth. Of course, I mean,
that's cool.
You'd be like, who was that dude? But, like, I mean, it's, like, we've never
That's pretty
talked
crazy.
since, but it's
Yeah.
like,
That's so crazy.
it's so crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it was Jordan Spieth. I'm like,
Yeah.
I remember looking at his
That's
name on my little
hilarious.
card, and like,
That's weird,
The dude won the Masters.
It's right. Heck
And
yeah.
you're like, I mean, and I'm
Dang.
proud of him. I mean,
That's pretty cool.
I cheer
dude.
for him. I'm not a big golfer,
am.
but I cheer for him
That's
just
cool.
because I'm like, hey, I remember him
I
as a little
know.
kid.
Yeah.
I wish I had that photo.
That'd
for
be
a photo.
so cool.
That'd be so
Yeah,
cool because we
it
took a
would.
photo with our kids every week. 'cause
Uh-huh.
They would
Yeah.
do it where like a week come in, week come out.
Yeah.
A week in, week, and they would leave. But
Yeah.
that was really, really cool.
That's awesome, man.
and
Yeah. So with leadership roles, is that something that came naturally to you, or is it something you really had to work at? And when did that really start happening? Was it when you started coaching, or was this all part of kind of that journey?
I mean, I think leadership is every. I want to answer say both.
Okay, yeah.
And what I mean by that is as a teacher, you're leading your classroom.
Yeah.
You're leading kids.
Yeah.
You're responsible. I mean, what's leader? Get them from one spot to another.
Nice.
Well, what's a school year? I got to get you here
That's
from
right.
here, and I got to get you here.
That's right. Yeah.
And then in coaching, I think coaching as a leader, I learned a lot about leadership through coaching, and I think some of the best lessons I learned about leadership were through coaches.
Yeah.
But then some piece of advice or maybe something, I don't know if it's a piece of advice, or a piece of advice I'd give to kids that come to me now with coaching. They asked me like, hey, coach, I want to be a good coach. I was like, okay, then do coaches.
Yeah.
If they were a good coach, do what they did.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they were a bad coach, don't do what they
Right.
did.
It's good advice. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's very, very, I think that's kind of been very blessed to do that. And I worked with some amazing men.
Yeah.
Amazing men. And a lot of, I'll say, the thing that really impacted my coaching career, I guess as I grew, I built leadership because you're a head coach.
Mm-hmm.
You got to be a leader.
Yeah.
I mean,
absolutely.
you're stretched. You got to grow.
Yeah.
If you don't, I mean, you're not going to be in that profession very long.
That's exactly right. You got to lead
gotta-
adults, other coaches, and
Yes.
the kids, right? Yeah, exactly.
And so I mean, that's like you work a role. It's just like you work your way up, but as you're learning lessons.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But I think you can not only that. I think this also impacts my speaking. You learn from other coaches. Like one of the guys that transformed my coaching career, and even that this guy I never met.
What do you mean?
So it was an ESPY video.
What's that? Oh, you mean
The
like
ESPN ESPYs.
Really?
God
okay,
changed
tell
my
me
life.
about-
So they do the ESPYs awards, and I'll tell the story. Like I was at a school, I got fired. And I didn't.
You did?
Yeah, I should have been. I don't
What'd
really.
you do?
No, I just wasn't very good. I didn't do anything
Okay.
wrong.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I just didn't win enough.
Okay.
And I didn't
yeah,
do the right
I got
things.
You. Yeah, I got you. Yeah.
Because I didn't know what to do.
Right. Yeah.
And I was focused on winning, and that's very important. Don't get me wrong. You
Yeah.
got to win to keep your job.
Yeah.
But I was
unfortunately.
actually transitioning to a new school. I was up in the Panhandle. I was headed down to Junction. I'd just gotten the job there.
Mm-hmm.
But I was living with my mom, my parents at the time as we moved.
Mm-hmm.
At that time, my wife, our daughter was born. Hadn't had her son yet.
Yeah.
And kind of getting fired, nobody wants to get
Exactly.
fired.
It sucks. either way.
It sucks.
Yeah,
It hurts.
It's not fun.
And so I remember it was the ESPY Awards. And I watched this video, and it was the Arthur Ashe Award for Courage.
Nice.
And what it was the guy, it was his family who actually won it.
Okay.
And he was a high school coach in Parkersburg, Iowa. He was very, very famous. He was well known in Iowa. Well, I'd never heard of him.
Yeah.
And so, anyway, I watched this ESPY, and there's this video. This coach had led this town. People had loved him. Well, in 2008, an F5 tornado comes and destroys 3/4 of his town.
Yeah.
And so he's the community, almost community leader, and he was like, hey, we're going to rebuild. And they're like teaching the lessons he had taught. He goes, I talked about character. Show it.
Yeah.
Well, rebuilt it. Crazy, awesome story. I keep watching it, and then it turns very tragic. One of the players that he really poured his life into suffered from some mental illness. Walked into a summer weight room, pulled out a gun, and shot and killed his coach.
Wow.
In front of other kids.
Wow. Yeah.
And so what was, that was a sad story.
Yeah.
But it was crazy. And I remember watching this whole video, and maybe I'll share it to you.
Yeah.
On Facebook. It's still on YouTube.
Yes, please.
But he's killed, and his sons were coaching at the school as well. They weren't there when it happened.
Mm-hmm.
But they tell their whole story. Well, he was killed that morning at 4 o'clock. They have a national press conference because this coach was decently well known.
Yeah.
An NFL player at the time had played for him in high school.
Okay. Yeah.
And anyway, the son walks up, and the first thing he says is, pray for us, but I want you to pray for this family too. And he was talking about the killer's family.
Whoa. Yeah. Oh,
He's like, man, love on them because they're struggling too.
That's right.
And they even talk about that right after that press conference, the first thing that those two brothers do, they drive around town, they find the little brother of the shooter.
Whoa.
And go, hey, dude, this is not your fault. We love you.
That's amazing.
They go fight him out.
That's right.
And they say, they said the reason we did that is because that's what Dad taught us. And if Dad taught us, this coach, taught us adversity, and we don't handle this the right way, then we're not respecting him.
You're right. Yeah, that's right.
And so, really, I watched that video. I was like, man, I want to be like that. Mm-hmm. And one of the very end clips, they show some of his famous quotes. And I've read a book of his, the story of his book, listen to the podcast. Mm-hmm. But his favorite quote was, if all I ever did was teach you how to block and tackle, I failed you as a coach. Man, that just hit me in the heart.
That's right.
And so, for the rest of my coaching career, that was at the bottom of my email. I'd put that poster up on the wall, because that was it. It was like, if all I ever did was win ball games, then I really didn't.
What was the point?
What was the point? I mean, yes, you want to win,
but you're not going to remember all those.
I mean, and that's the thing is some coaches, no matter what you do, you're going 0-10.
Yeah.
But still, right. but all your players are going pro, just something else besides sports.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
And so that's where it's like those kids that go 0-10 still need somebody to love them. Still need somebody to care for them.
Yeah.
Still need somebody to guide them.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I mean, God put you, he knew you were going 0-10. But you know what? That impact you can make in that 0-10 season will change their lives.
Man, that's the truth right there. Yeah. That's the point of it right there, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, something you said. So I watched a video that you put out recently, and it was just...
Which, they don't have many of those, so...
There's not?
That was number... I think I've done 2.
Oh, well, the one you're in your car and you're talking about So you said you spoke to somebody who was a speaker, and
right.
He said, although he offered a lot of great advice, I kind of left the meeting a little discouraged.
Right.
And that day, something had happened, and I'm going to share what happened. So I don't know if you know a lot about my story, but I had some addiction issues. I'm a recovering addict. I was working for a local news outlet, and I got into some trouble. And it was a big thing because they decided to make it a big thing. And
right.
Several articles were written about me. And it was a really dark period of my life. And so from that moment on, I have done everything I can to become a different person, a better person. We launched this podcast in my own business.
Right.
I've done everything I can to become a better version of myself, right? Mm-hmm. And no matter what I do, unfortunately, there's some people out there that are not going to let it go, and they still are going to label me as a druggie or whatever, and they will not let me have an inch. You know what I mean?
Right.
Nothing I do, no matter what, for the rest of
Right.
my life. And so I reached out and I got a sponsor, started getting sponsors. The show's
Right.
growing, it's doing well. So what happened was we signed the sponsor and I made an announcement about it. It's great, you know, and I won't mention who it is, but because we have a lot of sponsors now. And then I got an urgent message from this sponsor a day later. Please call me. You need to call me immediately. And so I called and he said, hey, Matt, you know, I didn't know about you getting in trouble in 2024, and what's all this about this drug charge? I said, yeah, absolutely. It was a very public thing. I said, there were multiple articles written about me. He said, well, somebody called me from this organization and said, maybe you might not ought to, you know, partner up with that person, and said a bunch of negative things about me. Just
Right.
completely secondhand hearsay. And the problem is this person with this organization knows me as a person.
Right.
You know, knows me pretty well. And
Right.
so I'm like, well, you know who I am. So I told him, I said, look, all I can do is keep my side of the street clean. For the
Right.
past 18 months, I've been
Right.
clean. I've done everything I can to better myself and my position in life and to help my community. And it's crazy, just days before he was talking about how much I've done for the community, you know, this person.
Right.
Anyway, and so it's just crazy because, and I was hung up after I said that, and he was like, okay, well, we'll go ahead and move forward, which they didn't. And I was really discouraged, man. I was
Right.
like, I guess I'll never be able to do anything to right my wrong, no matter
Right.
what I do.
Right,
You know?
right.
And so I was like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what more can I do?
Right.
And so I saw your video, dude, and I was like so discouraged.
Right.
And you said that you decided to encourage somebody, to pick up the phone and encourage somebody. And I was like, man, that's an interesting way to think about it. Instead of just remaining discouraged, you're like, you know what, I'm going to turn this loss into a win, because maybe
Right.
that person will encourage someone else.
Right.
And so that's what I did.
Right.
And I thought that was powerful, dude.
Right.
So talk about that.
So that's actually the first video I ever posted.
Are you serious?
I'm serious. I've only done 2, man.
Well, it was powerful to me.
And so
Yeah, that's good. So yeah, that clip, man, was cool, man. It meant a lot to me, and so hopefully somebody else got something out of that too.
And that's what I think what's really encouraged speaking is, like, that was raw.
Yeah, it was.
And I do want to say that the guy I talked to in no way was trying to be discouraging.
Right,
In
I
no
know
way,
you-
in
I
no
knew-
way
I
he
knew
was-
that. Yeah,
he was trying
yeah.
to be critical.
Yeah.
It's just really
I
it
gathered
hit,
that.
it hit me.
Yeah.
And it was, man, and actually there's a follow-up video too that kind of was my thinking during that time.
Yeah.
And so I've noticed that, like, I want to be an encourager. That's really, I call myself an encouragement speaker.
Yeah.
And a
I
lot
like
of
that,
it,
man.
but a lot of it, like, in my heart is I mean, it's not all roses. Everybody's like, oh, be positive all the time. No, life is negative.
It is, dude.
So why? I mean,
So are you the type? Although you're an encourager, you like to be very real and raw and
Very
honest.
real.
So okay, dude.
Very
To me,
real.
that's really impactful because it's not all butterflies and rainbows.
it's
you know,
not.
So that's
And
important.
It's very important. And so, like, that video, like I said, he wasn't trying to be discouraged, but man, I was super discouraged.
That's just how you
And
felt.
and so I feel I was very real, and it's very open. I mean, that's how I try to live my life. And I think this comes with speaking, and maybe we'll get this a little later, is I got to be the same person off the camera or off camera, off stage than I am living my life. Because if I don't live my life that way, what I say on stage really doesn't
It'll
matter.
come off as phony. Yeah.
It does, and that's going to lose more than it's going to gain.
Yeah.
And but I noticed that one of the things that I've learned, even through coaching, because people don't realize, I don't know if they know, especially in the education business, is people, because I've been in ministry too, but man, people are discouraged. Teachers,
It's
like,
true.
Like the levels, I mean, I'm no medical, so I don't want to say, but the levels
Right.
of depression
Oh, it's so
and
true.
anxiety
Yeah. It's off the
and
charts,
stress
man. Yeah.
and loneliness,
People
man, in
are
education,
struggling.
they
Yeah.
are struggling.
It's true. Yeah.
They're struggling. And so I've figured out that the best way how I say is, if I'm struggling, probably somebody else is too.
That's right. Yeah.
And then just want to encourage them. And what I realize is the more I encourage people that I think maybe struggling and I don't know their battles, but they're maybe struggling. But the more I encourage them, it helps me process too. Because if I encourage them, it's like if they're feeling crappy, if I could say something that makes them feel more encouraged, that encourages me.
So is that why you did that?
No, I wouldn't say.
I wonder what made you do that though, to say, you know what, I'm going to encourage someone even though I'm feeling discouraged. Like, why did you know that would help, or why were you pushed to do that?
Probably because I was discouraged.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, it really is. It's and I don't want to be I don't just encourage people so I feel better. That's not what I'm trying to do.
I know. Yeah.
I just know that that helps encouraging people. People want to hear encouragement, and it's some of the best encouragement I got comes from unexpected times.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, I mean, maybe it's God's way. It's like, hey, go encourage somebody.
Yeah.
And the more I encourage, the more I want to encourage. I don't do it for me to feel better.
No, yeah, I understand.
But I want their life to be better.
Yeah.
Because maybe it's like, hey, at least if they're encouraged, then at least there's not two of us discouraged.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, but what I've noticed is even though the struggles are still there, the sting of, man, I can't move forward.
Yeah.
Leaves.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, okay,
yeah.
It's more as I'm accepting this. Okay, now I'm going to work on this.
Yeah.
Instead of focusing on everything I'm not.
Yeah.
Focus on what I need to do to be where I want to be.
That's good. Yeah.
And so it's, I mean, if you feel like you're in a pit, the first thing to do is take one step out. Take another, and eventually you're out.
Yeah. Exactly. Don't stay there. Right?
Don't stay there.
Yeah.
And but a lot of what I think I do is when I'm discouraged, I want to encourage because other people need encouragement.
Yeah, there's a guy, I don't know if you know Chunky Nelms. You know Chunky?
I know Chunky. I know of Chunky Nelms. I haven't seen him in years.
He's such a good dude, man. He's one of the people. Shout out to Chunky. He watches and he might be a sponsor soon. And he is one of the people. There's a few people, but he's one of them who throughout this journey, he calls me every once in a while just to encourage me,
right?
Just to say, man, I think what you're doing is so great, and I really think it's helping a lot of people, and I'm really proud of you. And I'm like, man, and he calls me just to tell me that,
right? And
I'm like, man, and it means the world to me because there are people who are the opposite after this whole situation, and so he's just been very steadfast, supportive, and I'm so grateful for that, So like you said, it's like, you don't understand how much that means to people sometimes.
Right,
it's so important. Yeah. So it's cool that you do that. It's important to you to encourage people like that.
And I mean, that's not like the only time I encourage. Like I know, I know like a lot of times, like I want to live my life in encouragement, and then sometimes encouragement is tough love.
Yeah.
It really is. A coach, I wasn't all sunshine.
That's right, huh?
I mean,
yeah. Ooh,
but those kids knew I loved them.
Yeah.
And to me, that goes to build a relationship first, and then they understand that you really are upset.
Right. Yeah.
Because you have that relationship already built.
Well, that's something you said at the end of that, and I at first I was like, man, maybe because it was almost like it was a God thing. I was talking to God about it, and I watched your video, and I was like, okay, that was for me in a way. I felt like.
Right.
And one of the things you said, I didn't realize. I think it's something you say at the end of a lot of your stuff. You said, focus on building relationships.
Right.
And I thought it was just that video, and then I saw you say it again, and I was like, oh, maybe this is a very important pillar in what you believe, and I think that's extremely important. That's what life is, right? Relationships.
Right.
Yeah.
And actually, and maybe I'm not. Actually, I try to change it to real relationships.
Oh, nice.
And what I mean by that is, I mean, everybody. Social media is full of crappy, fake relationships.
Exactly.
Real relationships.
I like that.
Is to be real.
I like that.
Because you really are living life together.
Yeah.
And so, but build real relationships. I know that's probably not grammatically correct.
No, I like it though.
but it is. I mean, real brings trust.
Yeah.
Fake brings distrust.
That's right. Yeah.
And so, and anything in a good relationship is trust.
Mm-hmm.
And so I've got to build a relationship. I got you to trust me. Mm-hmm. So when it gets hard, you understand that I'm trying the best for you.
Yeah, exactly.
And so, but yeah, relationships are really, really big.
Yeah.
And that's really something I was blessed. I feel like I was blessed to be able to do a lot. How relationships matter, stuff I learned from my mom and my dad.
Yeah.
And I realized that how they treated people, and there's some amazing stories that I could talk for hours.
Yeah.
But just how like just relationships there not only impacted how they encourage somebody, that person later in life, full circle, comes and encourages me.
Whoa, that's cool.
Just are standing up for what's right, because my dad had a relationship with the guy, not a romantic relationship, just a friendship with this guy that he protected the guy that I remembered, and I told that story. I told the story of the guy not knowing the guy, just how my dad's character. I tried to talk about it at my dad's funeral.
Yeah.
I spoke about how, essentially, I mean, if you got time, I'll tell you a story real quick. My dad was he was a water well driller. Mm-hmm. He knew his stuff. He was on the state advisory board, which was like the Supreme Court of water well drillers.
Okay.
If you broke the law, you went to them and they could give you a fine, or they could take your license.
Yeah.
And so this guy had lost his business, had made some not good choices or whatever. It doesn't matter his circumstances. But he lost his license, and he done all the work, talked to my dad, done all the work to get back on the board. And so my dad worked with him, and he's like, hey, when you go in front of the board, I can't tell you how I'm going to decide, but this will help you.
Yeah.
And anyway, come to find out, one of the members on the board, and I don't remember his name, and don't really want to remember his name, but he was not very nice to this man. Wouldn't give him a second chance. Come to find out, my dad told me later after he retired, the reason he wanted to give him a chance, that guy was going to become a competitor of his business. And so I
can relate to that.
He wanted to hammer him, and I remember my dad. Like I said, he was a big man, and I remember my dad like listening on the board, and he was friends with some of the people on the board, but he wanted what was best for people, and he wanted what's best for water. He wanted to follow along what's best for people, and they're about to come to the decision. My dad hadn't said a word, and he literally listened to this guy pretty much bash. The guy on the board bashed the guy trying to get his license back. And for some reason, I was a kid, but I was with my dad at this meeting. I think it was a vacation. I was with my dad at this meeting. I was bored to tears.
Sure,
but I got to go swim in an embassy swimming pool that night. So I went with the so I was sitting in this meeting, and I'll never forget that. And my dad didn't say a word. And at the very end, the chairman goes, is there any more comments? And my dad said, yes, there is. I have talked to this candidate. He has worked his heart out. He has done this. He's done this. He's done this. He has followed the law here, 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 and here. I say we approve him.
Wow. Dang.
And all of a sudden, I'll never forget this. The board goes to vote. And actually, the chairman looks at the board, and they're like, it's time to vote. They go, well, one guy, I'm going to abstain. The competitor was going to abstain.
Yeah.
And then he goes, I'll abstain. And then he goes to the other names, and he just looks at him and goes, y'all all approve? Yeah, we approve.
Whoa.
And then he said, based on Mr. Garmon's recommendation, we accept.
Wow.
Well, that guy was able to get back at his business. And I had such an impact on me.
You got to witness that.
I got to witness it.
That's
crazy thing is, I go grow up, I speak at my dad's funeral. I tell that story of my dad's character. I was it had an impact on me.
Mm-hmm.
My parents are buried in Wall. I am walking from the graveside, and this big old man stops me. And he was at my dad's funeral, but I didn't know who he was. With tears in his eyes.
Was it that guy?
It was that
You're lying,
guy.
dude.
I wish I was.
That's unbelievable.
Like he
Are
goes,
you serious?
He goes, I was that water well driller.
That is extraordinary.
I was the one. And so that's the kind of stuff.
Dude.
Yeah.
He changed that man's life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He gave him another shot.
Right, man. And that's where it's like
that's
that
powerful,
that
dude.
to me is
I
like,
love that.
How what his character look like? That's what it looks like.
Yeah.
Now my dad, was he perfect? Oh no. But
who is? Dude, that's unbelievable. What a cool story.
And that's where
that's
I love telling stories, but that's also how I learn through stuff, and so.
Dang, dude, that's really cool, man. Yeah. So what does this next chapter look like for you? I mean, what are your intentions? What are your big goals? Who do you want to speak in front of? Who is your primary audience? Your target audience?
So as crazy as it is, and I put this on an Instagram post, but this really is my heart, is I want to influence one person. I just want to do it thousands of times.
That's what. Yeah, nice. Okay.
And so I mean, big goals. I mean, where the Lord leads me is my main goal.
Yeah.
I got some goals, and I'm working at it. And one of them is I'd like to. There's a certain church I'd like to preach at.
Cool. Yeah.
More to honor them than what they've done in my life.
Yeah.
Than anything else. Also, another one of my goals is to. This is gonna sound really, really crazy, but
That's all right.
I didn't fly much as a kid.
Yeah.
And so, like, one of my goals is to get to have a gig somewhere where I have to fly.
Yeah. Oh, you'll have plenty.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
hope so.
You will. Yeah.
And so, I mean, I would like to do that. And then
Yeah.
also,
That's cool. I like
there's
that.
another goal. There's some coaching clinics. There's a 6-man coaching clinic that they always have a guest speaker. I would love that opportunity.
Yeah.
For like self-promoting, which is always weird to me. But
Yeah.
but one of the reasons I would love to speak it is because some of the stories that really impacted my life that I love telling when I speak came from them.
Okay. Yeah.
And so came from that clinic.
Yeah. Okay.
Something that maybe God taught me at that clinic through a conversation that I really didn't pay attention to shows up later in my life, and now I have the end story.
Oh, nice.
And I want to share it back. And more is like, hey, man, what you said, man, that impacted me.
Yeah.
And so it's like I want to give back to those guys.
Yeah.
And man, if I get back to them by encouraging them and say what you does matter, here's why it matters, because you did it to me and it matters.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that's some of my goals. I mean,
Yeah.
I do have goals. Would love to do men's retreats, men's conferences.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Love to work with schools. But also even I would love to work with businesses. Man, I realized like I haven't, even though I don't have much speaking experience, I got a lot of experience. I mean, I led or helped lead along with other great men an 18 business but we use 16, 17, 18-year-olds to play a game. I mean, what I mean by that is not like there's a business, but hey, we got to work teamwork. What makes us successful as a football team? Hard work. What makes good leaders? Okay, teamwork, hard work, sacrifice. Well, what makes a good football team also can make a good business.
Oh, I see. Yeah, absolutely.
And so, and a lot of, so if you don't have good character as a football team, you're not going to be successful.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you don't really have good character in business, you're not going to be successful.
It's the truth. Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's going to come out. And so getting maybe talk to businesses, maybe getting to show their core values.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we believe. But we want to present it more than just a little PowerPoint.
Yeah. Well, that's what I want to know, I guess, too, is like, how will you market your speaking? Will it be leadership stuff? Will it be more faith-based? How will you know what I'm saying? Like, what would your niche be if you had to say?
Man, I think my niche is relationships.
Okay.
And
cool.
what I mean by that, but I see relationship could go in any way. Schools.
That's right. Absolutely.
Teams.
It's everything.
Ministry.
Yeah.
And just relationships is probably my niche in character.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah.
That's what I was very blessed with the career I had. And I think a lot of that is because of the time I spent building relationships.
Yeah, those interpersonal communication skills that you built as a coach with kids and other teachers, all that prepared you. Don't you feel for this?
All that prepared me
Absolutely.
for this.
God does that.
God does that. And just sometimes circumstances has got to go and to push you there. And I realized like some of my biggest wins in coaching have been the relationships I've had with people.
Yeah, nice.
And some of my biggest losses have been too.
Ooh,
I'll tell you.
Wow.
I think about this is if somebody asks me what my worst loss is as a coach, I'm not going to tell you a game. I'm going to give you the number 5.
Why?
I have lost 5 kids that I've coached that are no longer here.
Yeah.
And that means more
than any loss on a field, or a court.
And one of the things I want to tell, make sure one of the reasons I tell the kids a lot of times I coach, I love you and I'm proud of you. Two phrases that a lot of men don't hear, that need to hear.
Man, that's true. Yeah.
But also, one of my things is I want that kid to know that I loved you and I'm proud of you. And God forbid something happened to you. At least I know that that they know before they die that Coach Garmon loved them.
That's right.
And he cared for them.
Yeah. You know, I had a coach that you always have a coach or two that you'll never forget that kind of changed things for you. And I had 2 of them. One was Coach Ted Johnson, and the other you might know, Mark Baker. You know Mark Baker?
I know Mark Baker.
Yeah. So Ted Johnson, I'll tell you a quick story. I was in junior high at Lee when it was Lee Junior High. And we took this trip for a football game, and I was the type of kid that messed around a lot on the bus and made people laugh and was always the class clown, that kind of deal.
Right.
Well, we stopped at Golden Corral. I don't know if my dad might remember this. He might. You might or might not. But we stopped at Golden Corral and we were messing around, and I vaguely even remember doing this because it was just not a big deal to me at the time.
Right.
But I got the tongs and I grabbed a chicken finger, and I put the chicken finger in my mouth from the tongs. Right, and I just put it back. It wasn't even. It was just like trying to make somebody laugh, And I didn't realize that was a very unsanitary, gross thing.
Gross thing, yeah.
Yeah, and so no one said anything. A couple of my friends laughed, and we get on the bus, and Coach Johnson gets in the front of the bus, and he says, "Gentlemen, somebody ate a chicken finger out of the tongs off the buffet and embarrassed our whole dang team, and you are all going to run until you barf unless somebody tells me who it was." And everybody's quiet, not a word. And I literally kind of forgot that I had done it. And I'm like, is he talking about when I was like, well, it has to be. And so I'm sitting there, and he says, well, no one's going to fess up. You're all going to run till you barf. And everybody's, oh, God, come on. Somebody fess up, dude.
Yeah.
And so the bus is just completely quiet on the way back. And I'm sitting there, and I'm reflecting, and I'm like, man, I can't let everybody run. Like, right. I can't let them go down for that. And I'm like, but man, he's gonna kill me. Like, he will kill me I'll run till I die.
Right.
And so finally, I got the courage, and I was like, man, I gotta do the right thing. And so I walked up to him, and I sat next to him. I said, Coach, it was me. I did it. And he said, I know. And I went and sat back down, and he never made me run. He never made me. I don't know why that makes me a little bit emotional, but he never made me run for it. But I think he knew that I'd learned the lesson.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. And then Mark Baker, dude. So in high school, I remember, so I was getting really, really good. I was becoming a really good athlete. I kind of matured a little bit late when it comes to a 6A football team.
Right.
But I always had talent, and I think he knew that junior year going into senior year that I was going to be really explosive and good, and I was starting to show some real talent. And so he took it upon himself to really push me in the weight room, and when nobody else really would, because the other coaches were busy with kind of our top performers, but he knew, man, he would take me to the side and on bench press or whatever, and he would spot me and he'd make me work, boy.
Right.
He would make me work. He'd make me squat with real depth, and he would push me and he would do it 3 times a week. Go out of his way to really push me hard.
Right.
And dude, I developed into an incredible athlete because of him, because he took the time to do that. He cared. And so, dude, we learned some of the most valuable lessons from our coaches.
We do,
man.
and one I'll share that is really why I want to encourage. Coaches will always have a piece of my heart.
Yeah.
And I want to encourage them.
Yeah.
And so, most people still call me Coach Garmon, and that's that's honestly my.
Is that not one of the biggest compliments, dude?
It's one of the biggest compliments. Yeah. And I'll tell you 2 quick little stories on this.
Yeah.
First one is, so my dad, he grew up. His parents were Depression era. He was born in 1943, so that his parents lived in the Great Depression, and they worked. My dad used to tell me my grandpa only enjoyed life if he was working. Well, because of that, he was never really around. Mm-hmm. He provided for his family, but he never was around. And my dad talked about he got in school and was a sophomore. Of course, he was a big feller back then. That's back when Wall played 6-man. That's how long ago.
Dude, how long ago was that?
That
when
was
the last
19. My dad graduated in 1961.
61. Interesting. Yeah.
And so, but my dad told me a story. He was a sophomore. He was getting in trouble. He was failing every class, and the football coach came up to him, and it's like, Jim, you can keep doing bad stuff, or you can come play football for me.
Wow.
And my dad went and played football. Got permission from his dad. Went and played football. That man spent 3 years that poured his life into it. Dang. And so to even fast forward, okay, so my dad died in 2016. He died of dementia.
Wow.
Which terrible disease.
Oh,
I hope I hope that on nobody.
Nobody, yeah.
Well, my dad, one of the last names he forgot was his coach.
Are you serious?
He forgot me.
That's incredible.
He forgot me, but he would talk about Coach Kelso.
Dude, that's pretty wild.
And my dad, like I said, was a big dude, and I only saw my dad. I mean, he'd get emotional at times, but I only saw him really cry twice. The worst was the day he found out his coach died. He
That's crazy.
bawled.
Really?
Bawled.
Dang. That man made a big impact on his life.
And another little side story is I was in 8th grade. I wasn't a very good athlete, but I tried very, very hard.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a junior high practice in the morning. Probably grass was wet, and our coach was not very happy with our effort. And I remember he stopped the team and he said, I'll never forget, he goes, is there anybody on this team that's got a bigger heart than Clay Garmon?
Dang.
And I was kind of embarrassed, but everybody looked and was like, no. Then he goes, well, if you'd all give the heart he has, we'd be undefeated.
Dang, you were that guy, yeah.
And he said that. I'm 42 years old.
You'll never forget that.
I still see that coach at church. He is still coach to me.
Yeah.
And I still have a love for that man.
Yeah.
Heart.
Oh, yeah.
He probably doesn't remember what he said.
Dude.
But I'll never forget
You'll never forget that.
And so that's why I think that kind of motivated my coaching. I watch my words very, very carefully.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it could be positive or negative. And there's been coaches that I've heard negative.
Dude, that phrase right there is probably responsible for a lot in your life.
It is.
Because you believed that.
And
you took it with you. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Because people believe in me. And so that's going into this week is I believe in people believed in me and I believe in people. And if people don't believe in themselves, but I can help them maybe believe in themselves or really know that there's a God that believes in them and loves them, that they'll pour that out into somebody else.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the ripple effect.
That's right. Yeah.
And so
exactly.
that's the heart behind what I do.
That's cool, man. That's cool. Well, I know you'll be successful doing that.
Thank you.
And two more, I gotta drop their names real quick, and you might know these guys. Fred Bailey, do you know Coach Bailey? Fred Bailey?
I don't know Coach Bailey.
Man, he was. So I was kind of like you, man. When we were conditioning, I would run harder than anybody and I felt I belonged as a sophomore on varsity.
Right.
And I'd run over to the varsity field and say, "Get back over, Contreras, get back over to the sophomore field," and I'd always come back. And I didn't think anything of it. Just I knew I belonged there, you know. And there were like only 2 other sophomores, and I felt like I was the third, and I belonged there. And I would run hard, man, and I'd show up over there, and they'd kick me back over. And one day, Coach Bailey took me aside, and he said, "They're seeing that. Like, that means something. They know you want it." And so that meant a lot to me. And then the other guy, Coach King, do you know? He's married to Crystal King, and they were both teachers at Central at 2002, 2003.
Okay.
Anyway. Shout out to him, man. He was a real quiet coach, and he was a receiver coach. But in a JV game one time, I was performing pretty well, you know, and I missed a couple of passes though in a row, and I was real down on myself. And he took me aside and he said, "Those 2 passes don't mean anything." He said, "You're a great athlete." He said, "Don't forget that, and don't get down on yourself because of 2 mistakes. You know, it means nothing in the long run." And just, man, those words are powerful coming from a coach.
Right. And I know, I know one of this coach, he taught me, the first coach that I worked for, Ken Allison, man, I love
that you worked for?
That I worked for. He was coaching me as well.
Wow.
And just coaching me how to coach.
Yeah.
And he'd always have this philosophy. He'd always say, last play, next play. Last play, next play. And finally, I was like, what does that mean,
What does that mean? Yeah.
Well, last play's in the past. There ain't nothing you can do about it. So go to the next play.
That's right. Nice. That's what that meant by Coach
last
King.
Play, next play. Like last play, that's gone.
That's right.
Next play.
I like that.
Because if you the next play you have 1 positive, you just washed out that 1 negative.
Yeah, that didn't even
matter.
matter.
But if you let that negative keep sticking here, now you compound 10 to 12.
Yeah, that's a
plays.
good saying.
Yeah, I was like, wow.
Do you say that? You should have adopted that.
No, I mean I give him credit.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I think that's just I think that kind of goes back with your story is, like, I mean, Scripture says that there's a, oh gosh, I'm gonna mess this up, but that every morning His mercies are new every day.
Yeah. Amen.
And so a lot of it's like, tomorrow, yesterday may have been a wash, but yesterday's gone.
That's right.
But tomorrow,
that's exactly
God's
right.
still on His throne.
Yeah,
and so we're still going to keep moving forward.
That's right. Hey, I want to go live just for this last part.
Right.
So that way we can use it as a teaser, kind of.
Cool.
Dude, this has been terrific, man. I love this. So let's see. pull this up. Here we go, Dad. I'm gonna have you do a few minutes here, and I think we are good. Hold on. There it goes. Live. Okay, so this says loading. Go live. Okay, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Welcome, guys. If you're just joining us, so I'm with Clayton Garmon right here. Man, we have had an incredible conversation today. Thank you so far for this, man. Yeah, this has been unbelievable. I think you guys are really going to love this. It's going to be a real treat. But before we get out of here, a couple more things I want to talk to you about. Right. One of them is as a speaker, and like we talked about, your niche and your thing is relationships. Right. And that flows into every area of life, whether that be a corporate deal or with teachers or anything in life. Everything is about relationships. And so what do you plan to do with that? Like, where does you think your journey is going to take you? Like, what do you want to do immediately? Like, who do you want to speak to immediately? Like, schools around town, or because you want to start locally, right? Or do you? Right.
Well, honestly, I'll go with anybody who will have me.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But like, I would love to talk to local churches.
Really? Okay. Yeah.
And also local schools. Been very blessed. I have some connections because I was in that world.
Yeah, good.
And they're two totally different things. I mean, obviously, respect, like in the public school. Even though faith drives me, I'll respect that.
Yeah.
People of all faith.
Okay.
That's very, very important. And but relationships are so important in human nature.
That's right.
So I love to talk to schools. I love to talk to businesses. Man, just principles that I've learned in my life that. Not only maybe not even teach them, but remind them.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, they know this. That's what a good speaker is. I think is not only just teaching. A good speaker brings in remind of what he taught. Because a lot of like, we're talking about this. Well, I remember that lesson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's good.
Somebody taught me that's right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Reinforces
I need
that,
a
dude.
Reminder. Like,
yeah.
I haven't been.
That's true.
I haven't been a good man, a good character. I haven't been. Like that, and I think that's what a good speaker does.
Agreed. That's good.
It brings it out.
Yeah.
They can tell their stories. And a lot of things about speakers I've really learned in some of the trainings I've done is you tell their story, and somebody will start thinking their story.
What do you mean?
So I mean, like this is like, hey, like for example, if I'm telling a story about a relationship with my son, how I felt.
Oh, and I retell that.
Or you'll think about your son or your child.
Nice. Yes.
And so it becomes very, very personal.
Yes.
And that relates you and me together.
Yeah.
Because, hey, we may struggle with the same thing.
That's right. Yeah.
Or, hey, this is what he did. He shares what he did right, shares what he did wrong. Okay, maybe I can go back to my child or to my wife or whatever, my girlfriend, whoever.
Yeah.
And there's that connection.
That's exactly right.
But you if people can put themselves in your story, that'll affect their story.
That's so true, dude. Yeah, that's good. So if somebody wants to hire you to speak at a function or an event or at their church, how do they go about doing that?
A couple things. I got a Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. I haven't put much on that yet.
Yeah.
But everything's at Clayton Garmon Speaks.
Nice.
So Facebook's Clayton Garmon Speak. Instagram at Clayton Garmon Speaks. It's a little windmill with CGS.
Yeah.
So that's what that means. But that's probably the best way to contact me. Also, I mean, that's probably the best way.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. So lastly, I do this with everyone. What are 3 things that you're genuinely grateful for right now in your life?
Man, I was prepared. I had my note card because I watched it.
Yeah.
Number 1, most important, my faith in Jesus Christ.
Yes, love that, man.
Because I couldn't make it through a lot of the heartache that I went through, that setting this up without him. Mm-hmm. Number 2, I'm very, very grateful for my family. My wife and my kids know this, but I really want to focus. I'm very thankful for the parents God gave me.
Yeah.
A lot of the lessons they taught me, they didn't speak it, they lived it.
I could tell by just what you told me earlier.
And so I'm so thankful for them. And the third thing, man, I wrote one down. I didn't bring my note card, but my third thing is the opportunity. Every opportunity I've been given.
Yeah.
and we didn't really go into that, but like just the whole story, how in 3 months I went from a teacher to a speaker.
Yeah, 3 months.
3 months.
Wow.
It's crazy.
That is
story.
crazy. Yeah.
And so like just how the Lord has worked has been good, but I just every opportunity, and I remember is every relationship I've got.
Yeah.
Because every relationship that I've been in has given me a story, but has also not only given me a story, has become part of my heart.
Nice.
And has encouraged me. Every person that come in my life, well, I mean, like I value is you never treat people right because you never know.
Exactly. Yeah.
You never know.
Yeah.
I mean, I was with a Bible study with a friend, and the next thing you know, I'm on a podcast.
I know, right?
I mean, it's
yeah,
crazy.
That's true, huh?
Yeah. And so it's like
that is weird. Yeah.
It's like you never. I'm thankful for everybody God's put in my life because they may never know what they mean to me.
Yeah.
I hope I'm positive to them, but they never know what they meant to me.
That's right. Yeah.
And God's brought so many people in my life that I'm so thankful for that only He could have done that.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yeah. I feel that. That's cool. All right, guys, you're going to have to tune in. This has been an incredible discussion. Can't wait for you guys to see it. We'll see you later. Thank you, Dad.
Thank you.
Dude, awesome. So, anything else you want to plug or talk about before we get out of here?
The biggest thing, and this is kind of what the story is something that's really God's really taught on my life, just for people who really are struggling.
Yeah.
Is I've come to learn that some of our biggest blessings come from our biggest heartaches.
That is so dang true. Yeah.
And so I like telling stories. So if you don't mind, I'll tell you.
Yes, please, story. Absolutely.
So how I became a speaker, I told stories at a men's retreat, and I would like I said, it's not all sunshine and roses, man. I've been through some stuff and had a Saturday, met with the guys, thought this was awesome, told stories, enjoyed it. It's like, man, God, you're doing really good. I appreciate everything you've given me. Next day, we find my mom dead.
Dang.
And really struggle with that. But then, because through that, like that, I would take my mom back 1,000 times. I would take her back, but because of things she has done, that things she did, that it propelled me to here it is now. And like through her, like even right now, I'm working with an organization to become a better professional speaker. Well, that cost money.
Yeah.
And when I went through this whole like process, like I don't have the money.
Exactly.
And it was crazy is like my brother called me while I was on the call with this company, and I was like, I know I need to do this. I ain't got the money. He calls me, he goes, Mom left a life insurance policy we didn't know about, and it was the amount that this.
You're kidding, dude.
Man.
Whoa, dude,
and so,
that's
like,
unbelievable.
What I want to say, if you're in trouble or you're going through it, we're either going through it, have been through it, or about to go through it.
Oh, that's so true, huh? Yeah.
And so if you're going through it, man, just keep going, because it's gonna hurt, but God is still good.
Yeah.
And He's still on His throne.
Yeah.
And God's plan, even if it's painful, is still His plan.
Yeah.
And at the end, it's good.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah. You got to trust in the darkest times. That's the hardest thing to do. Yeah. Yeah.
But it's my biggest blessings.
Yeah. Man, that's so true. Dang, I didn't know that. That's crazy that you went from a teacher to a speaker in 3 months.
Yeah, I'm
that's
fresh,
pretty crazy.
man.
Yeah.
Walked away,
that's cool though. Yeah.
Walked away from education in May, and then through some crazy events.
Yeah.
Just the Lord, this, then this, then this, and this. And that's why I'm here, man.
Exactly. That's your path now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, man, thank you for this,
man,
Clayton.
Thank you for this, dude.
Yes. I really enjoyed it.
Man, keep doing your work, man.
Thank you.
It's really good stuff, man.
Thank you.
I really enjoyed the podcast.
Yeah, thank you for watching.
That was awesome, dude.
Thank you, man.
This
has been
terrific.
It,
man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Cool. All right, guys. Remember, if you want to hire Clayton, you can reach out to him at Clayton Garmon Speaks, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. We'll see you later. Thanks for watching. Thank you for watching, guys. Appreciate you tuning in. Thanks, Clayton, for coming on the show and telling your story and talking about how you went from a teacher and a coach to a public speaker in just 3 months. I think it's definitely part of God's plan. Thanks for watching, guys. Remember, reach out to Clayton at Clayton Garmon Speaks on all social media platforms. We'll